Welcome back, my dear artists. Today we are drawing little Geisha, anime character design. Let's get ready with a pencil and eraser, couple brushes, gel pen, water, and paper towel. Remember the Japanese flag, that bold red sun and white? Let's start there. Draw a large circle first. This creates a bright contrast for our character. Now draw a smaller circle overlapping the top of the sun for the head. Finally, add a curved line just above the center of the face to mark where the eyes will go. Next, sketch the dress with a graceful train and those wide, beautiful sleeves. Add her simple fan in one of the hands and a few lines for the hair fringe. Feel free to pause the video here. Take your time to make these important lines with patience and care. Now with the long, confident lines, let's shape the hair. We're going to build also the buns using 3 pieces. Each one gets smaller than the last. Just like you're building a snowman, stack them right on the top of each other, overlapping to give her beautiful, tall hairstyle. Now for the face. Add a soft cheek line, then draw wavy, delicate curves for the eyes right on the guideline we made earlier. Make sure your pencil is very sharp here. We need these lines to be very thin and precise. I've added a few more lines to finish the haircut. And now we move to the fan. Think of it like a slice of pizza. I divided the fan into 4 parts using straight lines, going from the top curved edge down to the center. Time for details. We are drawing lines to create the folds on her sleeves, then adding delicate sakura branches and flowers. Finally, let's sketch the cuffs and the trims on her garment to finish the look. On her dress, I've added a crane, very special bird in Japan. If that feels too challenging, just keep going with the sakura branches. Remember, this is your art, and your creativity here is always very welcome. To finish our sketch, don't forget the tiny shoe peeking out from under the dress and the decorations on the fan. I've added a few lines here to imitate the wooden trim on the fan. Then I add some sakura branches and flowers around her, similar to the ones we drew on the dress. It ties everything together beautifully. Did you know that in Japan, the new school year doesn't start in September? It actually begins in early April during cherry blossom season. While we are here in February, Japanese students are finishing up their current grade and getting excited for spring. Very soon, they will walk to their new classroom under a canopy of pink petals. Because the sakura bloom exactly when the new school year begins, these flowers are ultimate symbol for the fresh start and the joy of meeting new friends. Time for color. Grab a round brush and soak it with a bright red color. We'll start by outlining the large circle and outer edges of Geisha first. This creates a safety zone to keep our character clean. Once your outlines are ready, fill in the rest of the sun with that bold, beautiful color. While we paint, let's look at these 3 special colors. In Japan, these 3 colors are very, very important. White is a color of light and being honest. It is like a fresh morning. Red is a powerful color used to keep bad luck away. It is a color of fire and sun, meant to protect us and keep us safe. Black is a color of being wise and standing still, like a tall, strong mountain. When we put them together, we are making a painting that is full of protection, light, and strength. Let's mix a little white into our red on the palette to create a shade of pink you love. Once you have your perfect pink, use it to color the fan and add 2 soft blushing spots on Geisha's cheeks. This gives her a sweet and happy look. Make sure you use the very tip of your round brush to outline each space. This keeps our edges sharp and neat. Once you've made your outline, use a few smooth brush strokes in the same direction to fill the rest. Painting in one direction keeps your color looks even and professional. Now let's look at the dress. It's mostly white, so we want to look it bright and clean. Add just a tiny bit of water to a touch of gray to create a very light shadows. Paint these shadows softly along the folds for the sleeves and the train to make the fabric look real. Use the same light gray color to add some shadow on the edges of the face and under the hairline to make it pop. Now let's give our geisha her striking black hair. Using our round brush and bold black paint, carefully outline the edges of the 3 buns first. Fill each one in completely, making sure the black is smooth and solid. Next, paint the main shape of the hair around her face with the long, steady brush strokes. Leave just a tiny bit of white space if you want to show a little shine or light hitting her hair. This deep black will create a stunning contrast against the bright red sun behind her. Have you noticed how perfect the hair of geisha looks? Geishas treat their hair like a sculpture. Traditionally, they style it with special waxes to keep every strand in place, creating those elegant shapes we drew you today. It's time for the most delicate part, her eyes. Using the only very tip of your brush and the tiny bit of black paint, we'll draw the thin, graceful lines on her eyes and eyelashes. Be as light as a feather. We want these lines to be very thin and sharp. Once the eyes are done, use the same careful touch to trace the outline of the sleeves, the cuffs, and the trims on her dress. Beyond tracing the face, we want to keep her skin looking soft and bright, so just focus on making those beautiful fabric details pop. Before we add our next bit of magic, we have to be very careful. Let's make sure to wash our brush very well to get all that black paint off. We don't want our red to turn a moody brown. Once your brush is clean and thirsty for color, dip it into your bright red. Now we're going to add some tiny flowers to the fan. Instead of drawing long lines, just stamp the paper with the tip of your brush to make small dancing red dots. This makes the fan look like it's covered with the falling sakura petals. We'll use this exact same technique for the sakura on her dress. Take your time to scatter these little red blossoms across the white fabric. Now for the most magical part, it's time to add some sparkles. Take your gold marker and very carefully trace over the wooden lines we drew on the fan. See how it catches the light? Once your fan is shining, let's add a little bit of that same gold to her hair. You can draw tiny shimmering lines or little dots that look like a golden hairpins. This gold makes our geisha look like she's glowing under the bright red sun. Let's add some golden light to her hair with just a few thin shiny lines. Finally, use your gold marker to color the wide, elegant cuffs of her sleeves. Adding gold to the cuffs make her garment look like it's made of royal silk. See how the gold makes the whole painting feel special and bright? Let's bring some extra light to our sky. Take our gold marker and add some elegant lines right into our big red sun. You can draw them like rays of light shining out or beautiful swirling patterns that look like golden clouds. See how the gold pops against the red? By adding these lines, you're making the sun look like it's glowing in the light. It connects the background and the gold in her hair and sleeves, making everything in our story come together. Now let's switch for our black gel pen for the tiny details. This pen is like a magic wand for small spaces. First, we will carefully finish the corners of her eyes to make them look sharp and bright. Next, you can add the branches of our sakura flowers. You can use pen or the marker to trace every delicate branch on the fan and across her dress. Because the pen is so tiny, you can make these branches look like real twisty wood. Let's add some jewelry. Use your gold marker to make tiny shimmering dots on her hair so it looks like a catch in the light. Then add the little gold touch just above her eye like royal makeup. Remember to draw as lightly as fairy. These dots are like tiny stars that make her look fancy and glowing with joy. Just with a few little sparks are all you need to make the geisha look like the treasure. Let's make our fan look strong and sharp. Use your black marker to trace the straight lines on the wooden frame and the curved edges at the top. Trace a little handle at the bottom too. These bold lines act like a skeleton for the fan. making the colors look bright and the whole painting look very professional. Just like that, your fan is ready to open. Let's grab your black gel pen again for the final magic. Use it to draw the tiny twisty branches for your flowers and add some fine lines to the wooden fan. You can also add a few delicate folds to the fabric to make the dress look like it's moving. Think of your pen like a tiny ant walking carefully along the paper. These small whispers lines make the colors pop and bring the whole story together. We worked so hard. Well done! Don't forget to sign your beautiful artwork. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being with me today.